Inside the briefing chamber, Mon Mothma would speak up.
The time is nearly upon us. We prepare for a battle we know nothing about. What we do know is that Palpatine, if he truly lives, will have amassed a force of followers and Imperial remnants. By tomorrow, we ready our forces to travel to Exegol and stop Palpatine before he can reclaim his grasp on the galaxy. General Solo has volunteered for the inevitable task of charting the path to Exegol for our fleet. General Solo, you have been given the Wayfinder, yes?
Chewie and I got it hooked up to the Falcon's nav system. We'll be ready.
Admiral Ackbar would step forward.
Our fleet will make the jump to hyperspace upon your signal. Ahsoka Tano, you and General Syndulla are prepared to lead our fighters in the assault.
Luke would speak up. Are we certain that our current fleet will suffice?
Not to worry, Luke. I've been in contact with quite a few people the past few days. If need be, we'll have backup.
Suddenly, the comm systems would be overtaken by a static hiss.
Admiral! Incoming comm signal! Unknown origin!
The static would hiss and stop, leaving everything in silence, until a voice would ring out through the Home One, throughout the Rebel fleet, throughout the galaxy.
At last, the work of generations is complete. The great error is corrected. The day of victory is at hand. The day of revenge. The day of the Sith.
The Home One would break out into panicked whispers and arguments as Admiral Ackbar and Mon Mothma would try to call for order.
What was that?
It's Palpatine. It has to be.
Anakin would stand in the center of the chamber, using the Force to amplify his voice.
Enough!
The room would go silent, and all eyes would be on the former Sith.
We cannot fall into despair. That is what Palpatine wants. To see us scattered, broken. All of us must remember what is at stake. Our lives. The lives of our children. Of our children's children. The lives and futures of every free world in the galaxy. All of it hinges on our victory. If Palpatine is victorious, the Jedi, the Rebellion, the Republic, the galaxy itself will be lost. Darth Sidious can never again take control of the galaxy. We will stop him. We must.
The rebels would slowly look to each other, as Leia as well would stand.
Palpatine is powerful. He is strong with the dark side, and his followers are loyal to him. But ever since I joined the Alliance, I have seen determination and bravery the likes the galaxy has never known. People willing to give everything for a free galaxy. We will not let this be the end, not without fighting to our last breath. Every soldier, every rebel here who is ready to take this stand, step forward.
Slowly, one by one, rebels would step forward, along with Han, Lando, Chewie, Luke, and Anakin. Anakin would look to his daughter, pride filling his soul as he looked upon the fierce leader and warrior she had become.
Admiral, tell all fleets to prepare. Tomorrow, we fight.
Along with Luke and the others, they would head out to make their final preparations. An hour before dawn, Anakin sat alone in meditation. Would he be strong enough to defeat the Emperor again? He didn't know. All he knew was that whether he lived or died, giving up was not an option. Finally, standing, Anakin readied his suit. Inside the main hangar, Luke spoke with many of the pilots, giving them the inspiration they needed. I know many of you are afraid. That's natural. This mission will decide the fate of the galaxy as we know it. Remember that no matter what, the Force is with each and every one of us. Trust in it. Let it guide you. General Solo is the best pilot in the galaxy. He'll get you there safely. Follow his lead and be strong. Today, we bring the Empire down once and for all." The pilots saluted and rushed to ready their fighters. All the while, as Lando and Chewie boarded the Falcon with supplies, Han walked to Luke.
So once we've charted a path there, what are you going to do?
"Once we know what we're up against, my father and I will find Palpatine and deal with him. Once he's dealt with, they'll be leaderless. That's when we give it everything we've got."
Well, just in case one of us doesn't make it back. It's been nice knowing you, kid.
No need for that kind of talk, Han. We'll get through this. May the Force be with you.
You too, Luke.
As Luke left to join Anakin, Leia would rush to Han, who was just about to board the Falcon.
Han! Wait!
What is it?
I don't know what's going to happen. So it's best I tell you now.
Tell me what?
Han, I'm pregnant.
Han would look surprised, happy, worried, and confused all at once.
Well, that's certainly a hell of a reason to come back in one piece.
Leia would hug Han tightly.
Please, be safe out there.
I will.
After a few moments, Han and Leia would part as Han stepped aboard the Falcon. Luke and Anakin would walk into the hangar, where Ahsoka would be waiting outside of the Ghost.
You'll be arriving with the first of the fighters?
Better than being stuck in the command center, right?
Anakin would smile, holding out his hand to Ahsoka, who took it in her own.
Be safe, Ahsoka.
You too, Anakin.
Once all the ships had boarded, Anakin and Luke stepped on board a transport craft and waited. After getting the all clear, the Falcon would leave the hangar as Lando hooked up the Wayfinder to the Falcon's navigation system.
You ready, Han?
All systems are at full power. Okay, Chewie. Punch it!
With a growl, Chewie would send the Falcon into lightspeed. Upon arriving at the red zone, Han and Chewie would use the Wayfinder to navigate through the dangerous path. All the while, Lando would transmit their flight path to the Alliance and their allies. Within the hour, the Alliance fleet began making their way to Exegol, using the star path. Upon their arrival, Han, Lando, and Chewie would look out of the cockpit window, seeing a fleet of Star Destroyers.
There's gotta be hundreds of those things.
It's days like this where I miss the carbonite.
Meanwhile, General Pryde spoke to Palpatine.
The rebels have begun to arrive, my lord. Shall I reveal our weapon?
Not yet, General. Let the weight of our might sink in first. Then, crush their spirits.
Yes, my lord.
Alliance ships soon began to arrive out of hyperspace at their location.
Rogue Squadron, Gold Squadron, Red Alphabet, form up on me. Vanguard and the Delphi Squadron form up behind General Syndulla. Give them support as they make their way to the tower. Everyone else pick your targets. The Force knows we got plenty of them. Make every shot count.
Inside of Pryde's ship, a Sith Eternal officer spoke to Pryde via hologram.
Sir, their fleet has arrived.
Focus fire on their capital ships and scramble the fighters to counter their squadron's attack.
TIE fighter squadrons began to exit the belly of the massive Zeiston-class Star Destroyers to engage Alliance forces. As the battle would heat up, Luke and Anakin's shuttle would make its way to Exegol's surface, towards the Sith stronghold. Exiting the shuttle, Luke and Anakin would make their way into the depths of this unholy place, the statues of the ancient Sith looming over their heads. Anakin would close his eyes, memories of his previous time on Exegol swimming through his mind.
He is close. Be ready, Luke.
It wasn't long before the two Jedi reached the immense throne room, a stone Sith throne in the center. Anakin and Luke approached the Sith throne. Upon it sat Palpatine, this seemingly unbeatable foe. Palpatine would raise his face, gazing upon the two Skywalkers.
Now, this seems familiar. Once more you stand before me. Everything has led to this moment. You have done well, my apprentice.
Anakin would look into the vile eyes of the Emperor.
You are no longer my master, and I am no longer your slave.
You were born a slave, and a slave you remain.
Luke would ignite his lightsaber along with Anakin. You're gravely mistaken, Your Highness. My father is free, and your rule is at an end.
Your father will never be free, young Skywalker. Every choice he has made, every life snuffed out at his hand, weighs upon his shattered soul.
Anakin shut his eyes, knowing that Palpatine was trying once more to manipulate him.
You were once a mighty Jedi and a mightier Sith. Now, you are nothing.
Palpatine would fire a blast of lightning at the two Jedi. Luke held out his blade to catch it, but the impact pushed him back, his boots scraping the stone floor as Anakin stepped in, catching the lightning with his son and directing it, not towards the Emperor, but the statues of the ancient Sith that crumbled around them. Luke and Anakin would slowly separate, each moving to either side of the Emperor.
Your fear betrays your bravado, Anakin. You still fear me.
Anakin would grip his blade tighter.
Even if you kill me, do you believe the galaxy will forget what you have done?
Luke would look to his father. Don't listen to him, Father!
With each passing moment, your rebel allies are being decimated by my forces. It is inevitable. The Alliance will fall. The Jedi will die. And the Sith will reign supreme once more.
Luke would charge the Emperor before Anakin could stop him. In one swift motion, Palpatine would lift Luke from the ground and send him flying back into the crumbled Sith statue with a blast of lightning. Anakin's rage would boil over as he pushed forward. Palpatine sent another blast of lightning at Anakin, who had deflected, strands of Sith lightning sparking around his blade as Sidious power kept him at a standstill. Up above, Anakin could see the rebel fleet desperately clinging on as Palpatine would cackle.
They don't have long, Anakin. But you have another choice. Stand by my side once more. Bring an end to this destruction and bring order to the galaxy.
Never!
Palpatine's scowl grew as his eyes flared into a fiery glowing yellow.
Then you will die.
Meanwhile, the crew of the Ghost banked and weaved between fighters while making their way to the Exegol surface. Hondo manned the topside turret. Mart Matin used the rear guns on the Phantom II. Meanwhile, Ahsoka, Zeb, Kallus, Kestu, Wolf, and Rex waited in the cargo hold for the doors to open up.
Get ready, this is gonna be a quick drop-off. We got a lot of targets on our back. Copy that. We'll focus on getting that tower down.
The Ghost managed to land several hundred feet away from the nav tower. As the doors dropped and the ground team began to charge the tower. Inside the Home One, as the battle waged on outside, Leia and Mon Mothma watched over the tactical map within the command deck of the bridge. Leia, while talking over the comms trying to coordinate the battle, became distracted. Mon looked over at Leia with concern.
Leia, is everything all right?
It was as if something deep down was telling her that her place was not here, but with her family.
Mon, I think something is wrong. I need to get down to the surface. I have to get Luke.
Without a word, Leia would rush to the hangar. All the while, General Pryde would glare with steel focus into his own reflection. It was time. Giving the orders, his ship would emerge from the ground. As it would rise, its immense size and scope would send many of the Alliance into a state of panic. Pryde looked over the battlefield and with a smirk, gave his orders.
Fire the main cannon on their command ship. Dash their hope into cinders. Today the Sith will reign again.
The cannon of the Eclipse would begin its firing sequence. Inside, Han would give a look of realization and shock when he saw the Eclipse target, the Home One. The Eclipse cannon shot and hit the Home One, destroying it in an instant.
Leia! No!
Han would scream in horror and anguish, flying the Falcon in a reckless rage into a squadron of TIE fighters, destroying every single one. And the ground crew would look in horror.
Oh, Carabast!
Suddenly, in the moment of shock, Callus was shot in the arm. Zeb moved in a fury, taking on 2 Praetorian guards. Rex would manage to get the door open, and Rex, Wolf, and Kestu would run inside and make their way to the top of the nav tower. Inside the throne room, Palpatine would send another blast of lightning at Anakin, his blade nearly bending from the force of the attack. Digging his boots into the rock, he pushed forward. Down below, Luke stood, dazed and hurt, seeing Anakin alone in the fight. Leaping back into the action, Luke called his saber to his hand, and blades of green and blue united, blocking the lightning. Just then, Luke sensed something. Turning his gaze, Luke saw Leia approaching, blaster drawn. Leia! Palpatine's scowl turned into a smirk as he released his fury, sending Luke and Vader flying back, cracking Vader's helmet open and breaking ribs inside of Luke's chest. Palpatine's gaze met Leia's.
The Princess of Alderaan.
Leia wouldn't hesitate, and fired her weapon at Palpatine, who caught the blast with the Force. The bolts froze in midair, inches from his nose as he sent one flying back, hitting Leia in the knee. Leia fell to one knee, raising her blaster to fire again, only for it to be pulled from her grasp and destroyed by a bolt of Palpatine's lightning.
I knew you would come, Leia. Such a brilliant mind, yet not wise enough to resist the bait.
Leia was lifted by Palpatine into the air, feeling the power of the child within her womb. Luke and Anakin stood to their feet as Palpatine held out his hand, attempting to siphon the life force from the unborn child. Luke, broken and bloodied, rushed forward, his rage overtaking him as he leapt at the Emperor, who in a moment of distraction broke his hold on Leia and called forth his full might, electrocuting Luke. For Anakin, time froze. He could hear his breathing, his heartbeat, the battle in the sky above. But through the Force, he felt something else. Something he hadn't felt before. Inside of his daughter. The beating heart of a child. His grandchild. His legacy. Anakin stood, the cybernetics in his limbs damaged by the lightning, but still functional, lumbering over as quickly as he could. He called his weapon once more to his hand and stepped in front of Luke, blocking the lightning. Luke crawled weakly to Leia, shielding her as Anakin, with renewed vigor and strength, pressed forward to Palpatine.
The line of Skywalker ends today.
Palpatine's lightning increased tenfold, the might so powerful that the hilt of Anakin's saber began to crack and vibrate. Luke, with what strength he had left, picked up his saber and joined his father, blades crossed as they pressed forward, mere feet from the struggling Emperor. A stalemate. The fierce encounter would only last until one gave out. Leia looked at the battle. Her eyes caught the gaze of Anakin. She saw in his eyes not the monster she once hated, but her father. Leia looked to Palpatine and closed her eyes. She had never attempted anything like this, but a voice in her head guided her.
Leia, trust your instincts.
Reaching out to Anakin and Luke, Leia called upon the Force, giving her energy to Anakin and Luke, who pushed forward. The panic in Palpatine's eyes grew evident as he tried to hold on, but with each step forward, the resolve of father and son grew stronger and stronger. The buildup of power between them grew more unstable, a conduit of Force energy growing brighter and stronger. Leia was nearly spent, but with a cry, she gave everything she had to Anakin and Luke. In that moment, the energy burst forth from between them, creating a shockwave that enveloped Palpatine, who cried in horror as every atom of his being was vaporized. Anakin and Luke were thrown back, their bodies colliding and rolling harshly, bones snapping from the impact as Luke nearly tumbled into a bottomless crevice, only hanging on by one hand. The wind soon ceased as Luke hoisted himself up and crawled to Leia, who was breathing heavily, her face coated in sweat and dirt, holding her stomach. Leia, are you okay? Leia would slowly sit with Luke's help, her hand over her stomach, feeling the infant kicking.
I'm okay.
Anakin stood, for a moment, looking at what remained of the destroyed Sith throne. Then, Anakin would hobble weakly to Luke and Leia.
We have to get back to the fleet. Hurry.
Alliance ships continued to be shot out of the sky as all seemed lost. However, in the moment where everything seemed the darkest, a light shone through. Ships from all across the galaxy appeared across the Exegol skyline. Ships from core worlds like Corellia, Frisia, and Anaxis, all the way to ships from the rims like Naboo and Sullust. They were all here for one purpose, one hope: to stop the Sith from ever returning. The crew of the Falcon, along with the rogues and the Ghost, led the charge towards the fleet and the Eclipse with renewed intention. They would not let the flame of the rebellion die this day. Ahsoka and the other members of the ground team placed charges along the interior of the nav tower and, once rigged, began to make a run for extraction. The building exploded as our heroes narrowly made it out. Meanwhile, Anakin, Luke, and Leia would make their way to their shuttle as fast as they could, debris and blasted ships falling around them. Once inside, they would make their way to the nearest Alliance cruiser. All the while, the Alliance and Free World fleet ships destroyed the remaining Sith Eternal Star Destroyers. And now, Han Solo led the attack squadron on the Eclipse itself. Han would get the final shot in the ship's bridge, taking out both controls of the Super Star Destroyer and General Pride at once, as the entire Eclipse Star Destroyer began to collapse, exploding, breaking apart, and descending to the surface below. The battle was won. As the last of the Star Destroyers were taken down and the Eclipse crashed to the surface, Anakin, Luke, and Leia took their transport back to one of the remaining Alliance flagships. Luke would stare out at the aftermath of the battle. So many lives lost. So much destruction. But it was done. Palpatine was gone. Upon reaching the hangar, Anakin and Luke would be helped off the ship by a few attendees. Nearby the Falcon, Han, devastated, stood leaning with his face buried into his hands. As he looked up, however, he saw a figure emerge from the transport. Leia. Han's jaw would drop as he would run to Leia, her bright smile growing wider as she looked into his eyes and limped over to him. The two would embrace, Han holding her and not daring to let go.
I thought I lost you.
I'm here, Han.
I love you.
I know.
All the while, Luke and Anakin would be seated, being tended to by a few medical droids.
It's done, Luke.
How do you feel?
Free.
The days would pass. Hera Syndulla would be made acting head of the Alliance since the deaths of Mon Mothma and Admiral Akbar. Anakin would be given a full pardon for his actions in destroying Palpatine, much to the disdain of some older members of the Alliance. While Han, Chewie, and Leia would be offered new positions in the Alliance, they would decline, instead deciding to leave to focus on their new family for a while. Rex would take up a new role in training new soldiers to be prepared for any future threats, and Lando would be made Admiral of the Republic fleet. Ahsoka and Sabine would reignite their search for Ezra Bridger. A week after the Battle of Exegol, Luke, Anakin, and the others would be saying their farewells.
You sure you're gonna be okay, kid? If you get in trouble, I may not be around to bail you out again.
I'll be okay, Han. When we get settled, I'll let you know where to find us. Luke would hug Leia tightly. Be safe, Leia. I promise we'll see each other again sooner than you think.
You're sure you won't need 3PO?
I think you might need him more than we will. R2 will be more than enough. Anakin, meanwhile, would speak to Ahsoka.
You think you might have a lead on Ezra?
Possibly. It's a start. Are you and Luke ready?
As we ever will be. Rebuilding the Jedi Order will take time. It may not be within my lifetime, or Luke's. But one day the Jedi will rise once more to maintain this new peace.
I'm gonna miss you, Sky Guy.
We'll see each other again, Ahsoka. But right now, someone else needs your help.
Ahsoka would nod and hug Anakin.
May the Force be with you, Ahsoka.
As Han and Chewie prepared the Falcon and Luke prepped the freighter, Anakin stood with Leia.
There's so much I want to say to you, Leia.
I know. There's something I want to say to you. I forgive you.
Anakin would very slowly hold out his hand, taking the hand of his daughter into his own.
You've made your mother so proud, Leia. You carry the legacy of not only our family inside you, but the Jedi as well. I know you'll do well. Be safe, my child.
Leia would smile and nod, slowly parting from Anakin. As Anakin prepared to board his ship, his eye caught something. Not too far away. 3 spirits, Obi-Wan, Yoda, and Qui-Gon Jinn, all smiling to him.
Be with us, Masters.
Soon, all 3 parties would board their ships, taking off into separate directions. Ready, Father?
Let's get to work.
Luke would look out at the stars and activate the hyperdrive, sending them into their new destiny. On Ossus, the golden rays of early morning light shone upon Jedi pupils of all different species, training and completing their morning exercises. One of these pupils, Ben Solo, a young man with a bright future, training under the guidance of his aging grandfather, who sat in a calm state of meditation. In the years following the Emperor's defeat on Exegol, Anakin and Luke spent the following years rebuilding the Jedi Order. It was a small academy, with about 30 students, but it was a start. Anakin would sense an incoming presence. Opening his eyes, he would see a Jedi transport craft lower down to the surface. As the door opened, Anakin would see his son step out, alongside R2. Ben would bow to his master, as Anakin would step forward.
Your mission went well?
Very. Luke would gesture to the ship, as a young girl would cautiously step off and step beside Luke. This is Rey. Rey would very softly wave to Anakin and Ben. Anakin would look down at Rey, who would shake a bit, feeling intimidated in the presence of the Chosen One. But Anakin would smile.
Luke has told me you came from a planet very different to this.
Rey would nod.
Jakku is very different. This place is so green.
Luke would put his hand on her shoulder. Welcome to Ossus, Rey. Here we will train you in the ways of the Force. Rey would look around at the students practicing their exercises.
What if I'm not good enough?
Anakin would look Rey in the eyes.
Rey, you are more than enough. Everyone's path starts somewhere. Your path starts here. We will teach you and nurture you. And in time, if you work hard, you will be a great Jedi.
Ben would smile.
It can be intimidating at first, but you'll get used to it. Pretty soon this place will feel just like home.
Rey would look at Ben and then out to the other students.
I've never had a home before.
Luke would pat her on the back. You do now.
Welcome, Rey, to your new family.
Rey's eyes would gleam as she looked upon the temple under the golden sunrise.
Family.
And that is where we conclude the trilogy of What If Darth Vader Survived Return of the Jedi. This was a monumental undertaking, years in the making, and I really hope that you guys have enjoyed this story. I'll be honest, as stressful as it was coming back to this story, I've got to be honest, it also felt good concluding this trilogy that everyone's been asking for a long, long time. Before we sign off here, I want to give a massive thank you to Crank Clank. You can find his channel right here. He is a good friend of mine, and he helped write this story and edit it as well. I mean this 100%. This What If would not have happened without his support. So please check out his channel and give him some love in the comments below. Leave a comment below if you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Concordia Jedi. Thank you for helping make Part 3 a reality.